Hey, this is WHitesides with Greenbrier Percussion playing on a Pearl legendary H2000 Hi Hat Stand. I use this hi hat stand both in the studio and for live play myself. One of the reasons why is it is flexible. It has two legs and it sits right next to a double bass drum pedal or right next to a bass drum if you need it close to your single kick pedal, say you're using two bass drums. But when I'm just using a single kick, single bass drum, and a normal hi hat stand, the Tama lever glide's not very stable. It's much more portable. I love it for a pickup and grab gig, but for a gig where I've got a little bit of time to set up, I strongly prefer the stand because it's much more rigid. It doesn't move around a lot, and it's got some added features as to why. One is you can actually, with some adjustment, swivel these legs around. So the two legs can point in any direction you want. That allows you to snuggle up closer to your bass drum, or it allows you to slide in a Pearl RH2000, the remote hi hat stand, so you can get the foot pedal really close to this guy and get comfortable with it. Another feature here is on the legs. I don't know if you can see these. I can actually push a little button like that and make the spikes pop out of the feet. Spikes are out, spikes are in. Spikes are out, spikes are in. Spikes are out, spikes are in. It's really fun. I can do that all day. And that's on both feet. There is a drum key adjustment here that will stop the legs from swiveling left to right, as well as this wing nut here, which is also the height adjuster for the legs. You've got a solid memory lock for your height adjustment, and you don't have an excessive amount of hi-hat rod coming out of the top of this. I usually hacksaw mine off because I play with my hi-hats fairly low. I typically play on bob-size kits or 20-inch kick drums, so I don't have my hi-hat set up 46 inches off the ground. It's usually somewhere in the 30s probably. The hi-hat clutch that you get, really solid. I like the two pieces of rubber instead of felts. They seem to last forever, whereas felts get squished up and compressed really quickly and are utterly useless. This clutch, even though you don't have knurling on the hi-hat rod here, never seems to fail me. It grabs on really tightly. I'm not sure the inner workings of that, why it's better, but definitely just from experience, I've been playing on so long time, it's never failed me. That speaks a lot to me. There is a knurled grip here on the tilt adjuster, so you can tilt the bottom hi-hat. I'll show you that. So if you want to continue to tilt the bottom hi-hat so that your hi-hats sit together in a sizzly position where they're touching back here, not touching up here, this is a very easy tilt adjustment. A lot of other inferior hi-hat stands have a tiny little gripless tilt adjustment, so you've really got to get in there with pliers or something practically to adjust your hi-hat tilt. And during a gig, out of the question. There's no way you're going to be able to get it done quick and accurately. With this one, if I like it 3 twists, tilted to get me like a 30-degree angle between my hi-hats, and I really want them to sizzle for rock and roll. That took me seconds. It was really easy. I can go the other way here, have them nice and flat to get really clean, crisp vacuuming, or to be able to hit the top hi-hat without it rattling on the bottom at all, to use it like a crash if you're a minimalist kind of player. So this is a feature-loaded hi-hat stand. You can even pick up the pedal board. I'm not going to show you that because that is one of the things I like less about the hi-hat stand. I was saying the Iron Cobra is more of a pick up and go. You can just lift up the pedal board, and while that makes the stand unstable, it's really easy for packing up. For this one, I've actually got to take the tension key, loosen something, and pull the pedal board flat up against the hi-hat stand. I never bother to do that. I usually just pick the legs up and go like that, pull the hats off, toss them in my cymbal bag, put the clutch in a pocket on the cymbal bag, and if you want to disassemble, you can do the trick with this hi-hat stand where you unscrew the rod here, pull that out, pull this pipe out, and then slide the rod into the pipe and use the hi-hat clutch stuffed into the bottom side of this pipe to make it all one unit to go in your car. And the stand from here down is a second piece to go in your car. So it actually does break down fairly small if you've got 5 minutes to fiddle with getting the pedal board up. It's just a little bit of a tough trick. You got to get used to exactly what angle you slide it in and out at. So with that being the one minor downside of this hi-hat stand, I will say it is utterly super stable. It is great to play on. It has very fast, clean foot action. It's got a double chain, really solid cam. It's extremely smooth, and it's loaded with features to keep the hi-hat from moving around on you and to make it, again, snuggle up really close to whatever bass drum pedal or bass drum setup you'd like to have. There's even plenty of room, if you're completely obsessive, to clamp this onto a drum rack so it just can't go anywhere. But you really don't need it because the hi-hat stand's already so stable, and with the spike feet, it really doesn't move anywhere on a carpet. My name's WHitesides. I own Greenbrier Percussion, and I hope you enjoyed this video.